It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock of laters. When you're transformed by the renewing of your mind, who do you think you're going to think different about? Well, let me ask you like this. If you have thoughts concerning yourself, your existence, who you are and what you are, if your mind is transformed, then are your thoughts transformed also? And if your thoughts are transformed, then don't you think differently concerning who you are and what you are? Yeah. And do you know that the man you once were, the Bible says, was earthy? The first man that you are when you come here, he refers to you as earthy. The second man that you become, as we discovered, the Father's name literally means to desire to become. You hear that? And we are made in his image. So we are made and then we desire to become. You see it? We're made in his image and in his likeness. So we desire to become something. Now, he gave us a commandment concerning that desire. Don't take my name. In other words, don't take the desire to become something that's vain. Can y'all hear it? How it connect like a Lego? Don't take my name in vain. Don't take desiring to become something that's empty. Don't desire to become anything that isn't anything. Don't desire to become a lie, to make yourself into a lie. You understand? That's taking his name in vain. So when you are reconciled, who are you reconciled to? Well, the Bible makes that clear. You are reconciled to the Father. You see it, little flock? So then the finished work of your reconciliation is your oneness with the Father. The true being that you were desiring to be. You see it? Was the Father all along. Everything will be brought back to himself. And that himself is I am. Everything will be brought back to it because that's who everything is in search of. But some search in vain. As the scripture says, those who labor, labor in vain. Because the Father being one with him is rest. It's not work. It doesn't take work to be one with the Father. It takes rest to be one with the Father. Do y'all understand that, little flock of laters? That's rest. Once you're one, now you can relax and you can rest. You don't have to labor anymore to become one. But now, that transformation, I want to focus you guys, little flock, on a certain aspect of that transformation. And this is what it is. This is a nuance that has, for the most part, been left not discussed. It's been like hidden, you know what I'm saying, to the minds of men. But we want to illuminate it and bring it to the forefront so that you can see it and understand your station. Why you go through the things you go through and why you feel the way you feel about the things you go through. You see, we want to talk about that. Well, when you claim a state of being that matches the Father, think about what that may be. I'll give you guys an example. I am kind. Now, is God kind? That's the question. See how I'm saying you're being brought back in oneness and in harmony with the Father by taking his name in truth and no longer in vain? Do you see that? True reconciliation. So I am kind. Now, guess what, little flock? In the world that you live in, how do people take kindness? In the world. Well, have you ever heard this term? They thought they could take my kindness for weakness, man. You ever heard that? They're taking my kindness for weakness. So let me see. If you're kind in a hateful, dark, evil-ass world, then how will they receive that kindness? They will take it as weakness. So then how would you be treated? would you be despitefully used? Would you be hated by all men in that world? Well, those two questions I just asked you, did Yahushua answer them already? Come on, guys, you know he did. Marvel not if the world hate you. You shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. For what? For whose sake? For my name. What's his name? I am. I am come in my Father's name, guys. You guys can say whatever kind of thing you think is a name that calls him. But I'm telling you, he said he came in his Father's name. Now, what's his Father's name? Ask Moses. Because Moses asked, who shall I tell them has sent me? And what was the answer he got? I am hath sent me. So who does the sending? I am. So then Yahushua said he was sent. Who was he sent by? Somebody else? Who was he sent to? Well, Moses was sent to the Israelites. Who was Yahushua sent to? I am not sent. Look at the words. Look at the clarity. I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep, the flockulators of the house of Israel. Can you understand that? So isn't it the same? So he was sent. They both were sent, admittedly so. So then they had to have been sent by the same one. Correct? Interesting. So when did it change? When did his name change? Yeah. You see it? People think you're supposed to be reconciling them to the name of Jesus. But the one you call Jesus said, I am come in my Father's name. And before Abraham was, I am. And they took up stones to stone him. Now I'm going to ask all you scholars, why did they take up stones to stone him when he said, before Abraham was, I am? Why did they take up stones to stone him? They already told us why. I just want to see if you scholars know it. They said, we don't stone thee for any good work, but for blasphemy. You hear it, little flock? But for blasphemy, for you being a man, make yourself equal with God. That's what they said. Well, what was God's will? What was God's plan for us all? What did Yahushua pray? That we would all be one? Or did he pray that we would be separated from God? What the hell y'all think? Of course he prayed that we would all be one in the Father. Who is that one that we would be one in? Moses told you his name is I am. So is the grandson in I am? Yes. Excuse me. Is he inviting you to that same place? Or am I inviting you some other name? I'm inviting you to come into the truth of I am. Now, when you do that, then you're going to be hated, as Yahushua said. Now, do you know why? I'll tell you the truth of why, if you want to know it. Well, it's because when you say you're kind, how do you demonstrate that you are? Let me ask it to you like this. Another attribute of the Father is I am patient. So then when you say you are patient, how do you demonstrate that patience that you are? How do you demonstrate it? How do you show it? By a situation that forces you to demonstrate that you are patient. That is called a fiery furnace of adversity or a furnace of affliction to try you. Now, do you see why it's a furnace that tries you? What is it trying you for? What is it trying you? What is it trying in you? It's trying to see if you are what you said you are. Can't y'all understand that? So then what kind of situation needs to present itself to test you to see if you're patient? A situation where you actually got to show that you are. Ain't that something, little flock? Look at Abraham. Look at Sarah. I'm looking at him, grandson. What am I looking for? What am I looking at? Well, you're looking to see if they waited. Now, my question is, did they? You be like, damn. Not only did they wait, grandson, but they had to wait a long ass time. They sure did, didn't they? They did, didn't they? Now, why do you think Abba called Abraham his what? His friend. Isn't that what he called him? What is a friend? Someone that can relate to you. Isn't it easy to be understood? Someone who can relate to you. And so y'all have commonality with one another, and that binds y'all or bounds y'all together. Your souls become knit. Your souls are your thoughts and your feelings. Remember Jonathan and David? It says their souls were knit. You see? Their thoughts and feelings were knitted together. They had the same thoughts and feelings concerning things. That's what made them friends. So it's the same thing with Abba and Abraham. It's about the thoughts and the feelings. Abraham, like, okay, you told me I'm going to have a son. My wife, Sarah, shall have a son. I'm going to celebrate and be happy and be glad. Now, slow it down and let the grandson cook in his damn bitch. Listen to what I'm about to say to y'all. Abraham saw my day. And he did what, little flock? Slicer to slice. I'm getting amped up. Because the accuracy is astounding, isn't it? Before Abraham was, I am. You're not even 50 years old, and you said Abraham saw your day and rejoiced in it? See how they don't understand anything? I'm explaining it to you, though, so crystal clearly. Now you can understand why Yahusha said what he said. Before Abraham was, I am. He saw my day and rejoiced in it. Okay, so then Abraham heard he would have a son. And he rejoiced at that. And he saw it. Like the grandson keeps telling you guys, that's how you prove you believe something. Do you see how accurate that is? Watch what I'm telling you. If you desire something, you visualize it. That's called seeing it with your eye that is within you. Let thine eye be single. So then what you're seeing, you feel a certain feeling associated with it, and you don't change from that. That's letting your eye be single. You see a vision, you feel joyful, as Abraham did. You rejoice what you see, what you're seeing, which is obviously you're holding your baby. Sarah's nursing her baby that you guys have had. You're raising him, you're loving all on him, you're training him up in the way that he should go and everything's wonderful. That's what Abraham is looking at. So he feels a feeling associated with that. What did he feel? Joy. He rejoiced. See? So then when he felt the joy, then what happened after that, little flock? It manifested like the grandson has told you guys ever so often. Am I lying to you about this, or am I telling you guys the truth? That this is the way it works. This is the way it goes. It ain't no fluke. It ain't no struggle, and it ain't no strife. Is that right, little flockulators, or is it right? Y'all come take a walk with me. Because I don't want to cut this video short. Y'all just come take a walk with me real quick. Y'all be nosy and see what I'm doing anyway right now. I'm actually at the store getting some baby formula. It was down to the last of the last of what I had. And a woman was kind enough to inquire and say, hey, you got what you need for that baby? And I'm like, oh, I need some formula. And she's like, here, take my card and go get it. Now, I don't want to put this lady's information all out on the internet and everything. I could show you guys the card that she gave me with her name and everything on it. And she trusted me enough to give me the PIN number and say, just go get the item that you need. So that's what I'm about to do, and y'all gonna witness me doing it. So you know it ain't no lies going on here. There ain't never no lies going on at the School of Marvelous like no little flock. So now, do you hear what I'm telling y'all? Abraham saw it. He rejoiced because of what he saw. It didn't make him sad. So now I got a question for you, excuse me. And I got a question for you. When you visualize something in your mind, does it make you sad, what you're visualizing? So then it's not the son of promise. Do you understand that? It's not God's gift to you when you feel distressed by what you're visualizing in your mind. But what does this world try to cause you to do? To stress, to doubt, to become fearful and afraid. That's exactly what it's designed to do. So then what is your eye set upon? See what I mean about let your eye be single? You decide what brings you joy and you stay focused on it until it comes, like Abraham did. Now, did Abraham have to wait a long time? Okay, now here comes some more juicy part of this message, little flock. Y'all can follow along with the grandson. Here comes some juicy part of this conversation. Now watch this. When he was waiting, what ended up happening during that time of wait? Well, Sarah said, maybe what God meant is that I would have my child through Hagar. So Hagar is going to be with Abraham, and she'll have the child, and then I'll raise the child as though it's my own. Do y'all hear it, little flock? So what does that mean? That means that during the wait for the manifestation, the grandson always tells us something. And what does he say? Y'all see little flockulators? That can got a bit in that mug. I don't want it. Like I said, this is what I was coming to get, little flock. The same stuff that I posted on my page saying that I was in need of. Y'all see little flockulators? So the grandson don't be playing. I don't be exaggerating. I don't have to. I'd rather remain in the truth and live in the truth because it makes everything easy when you do that. To me, it do. So now, what does that mean about what Sarah did? It means that your feelings, oh, excuse me. Remember, I told you guys, the how and the when is not up to you. Now, did Abraham know the when? No. Did he know how? No. But what happened when they started to try to think of how? They screwed up. Didn't they? So now, when you have something that you desire and God tells you he'll give it to you, you may get impatient. And you may start to figure and try to think and try to formulate a plan for yourself to make it happen. But when you do that, you end up getting an Ishmael. Now, what is the key thing about Ishmael that's different than Isaac? Isaac stays in the house. Ishmael is kicked out. And when he's kicked out because he will not be heir with the free woman's child, the bondwoman's child should not be heir with the free woman's child. Is it not written? So one of them got to go. One of your manifestations got to go. Flesh and blood can't inherit the kingdom. So you trying to make it happen with your physical hands and physical thinking and intellect and everything, it's not going to bring the promise. The promise is a promise, and it comes, when it needs to come from who it needs to come from. Y'all understand that, little flock? It ain't even hard to understand it, is it? So now when you waiting, you go, okay, maybe God meant this is how it's going to happen. So then you do something and you get an Ishmael. Sarah representing your feelings. Your feelings start to try to say, I want it now and I don't want to wait. So I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to make it happen. And you attempt to try to. And when you do that, like I say, you get an Ishmael. And then eventually Ishmael has to get kicked out. And how's that going to make Abraham feel when he's kicked out? Well, what does the Bible say? The thing greatly distressed Abraham. Do you know that? It greatly distressed him. So now, distress, is that a happy feeling? Is that a joyful feeling? So this distress that Abraham ended up feeling, why did he end up feeling it? Because God did something wrong to him? Or because he did something? He went on his own understanding and tried to produce the result. Is that what happened? So then what would happen if you try to go on your own will and try to make it happen? What would happen with you? You'll be sitting there looking all confused, scratching your head saying, damn, I'm in the same distress. Yeah, you will be distressed like the grandson was when he had to kick his Ishmael out of his life so that I could receive my Isaac, my son of promise. See, because this is why I tell you guys to learn how to be patient like Abba. I tell you this from my own personal experience. I wanted to be a man and have a wife and have beautiful children and live in a house and a beautiful home and have all these things. And that brought me great joy to visualize that. But then I went about my own will. I looked at a woman and said, there she is, that's the one. And then even my own mother said, that ain't the one, son. So did I listen to her? She said, maybe you should take some more time to think about it. I mean, she's very beautiful and gorgeous and everything, but maybe you need to think about it a little more before you just jump in there doing that. So I didn't heed that warning and any of the other warnings that I had. I'll give you guys an example of another warning. I had 2 cars at this time. I was living in Florida. So I had a BMW and I had a Volkswagen. The BMW was like my flashy car and shit to show off and every damn thing to look good in it and everything. And the Volkswagen was a fun car that I was like, it was like a tuner that I was building up. It was a Volkswagen Golf. Little hatchback. Sweet. It was blue, had rims on it. Interior was all done and everything. It was sweet. Well, the girl that I'm talking about that I tried to make that I made my Ishmael with, she wants to see me. So she's like, come see me. Now she stays in a whole nother state, in a whole nother part of the country. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna come see you. So I'm like, I'm gonna get on the road, take a road trip. So I took some time off work, get in my car, the Volkswagen, leave the BMW, I get in the Volkswagen, and I'm driving out of state to go. Well, as I'm driving out of state, I get to this gas station. There's no lights on or anything. There's really no action going on. And I'm like, this is a weird little gas station while I'm on the road. I'm like, well, but I need to get some gas. So let me go ahead on and do what I got to do and get some gas from here. Even though there's no clerk or anything, gas station was kind of dark. I'm like, it got to be open. So I'll just use my car. Well, if you know anything about gas stations when they close, they probably close because they ain't got no gas in it. And sometimes it may be some water inside of those tanks. And I didn't know that, little flock. And I put the gas in my tank and went on. I filled it up to the top and everything. And I went on. Well, I started driving. My car ended up stopping. Putting. It was running fine before that. Started putting and tripping and everything. And I'm like, dang, must be that gas that I put in there. Well, my car ended up stopping I had to stop on the side of the road. Well, when I go to stop on the side of the road, like I said, I had rims and everything on it. I go to stop on the side of the road and I hit a fucking piece of a semi tire. You know how the semi tire breaks and a piece of it come off on the highway and you be dodging that shit on the side of the highway and shit. Well, that was on the side of the highway and I ran over it as I was pulling over to get off to the shoulder because the car was stopping because the gas was all screwed up. Y'all see what I'm saying, little flock of ladies? Busted the rim, busted the tire and everything. So now I'm on the side of the road in this other state, stranded. I had to call a friend of mine to come and pick me up in a whole nother state. It took them 6 hours to get to me as I waited at a rest stop. You hear this shit, little flock? This is all to go see the same girl that I made the Ishmael with. So now I got the warning from my mom. My car broke down on the way to try to go see her. And multiple other things happened on my way. Well, the funny thing about that, little flock, is I didn't heed to any of those warnings. I ended up getting a plane ticket and going flying to go see her anyway. Y'all see what I'm saying? Left my car on the side of the road. Eventually went back with a friend of mine who was kind enough to take me back to go pick up my car that was left. And when I went to go pick it up, it was gone. And I was hurt about that because I like my little car. It was gone. Somebody had towed it, stole it, did something with it. But it was gone. So I had to take a loss on that. And all kind of other little stuff like I told y'all. So this is what I mean about the warnings that come that's telling you, maybe this ain't the right thing you doing. Maybe you need to be patient and wait on God to show you. Now, the question that I got for you guys right now, after I just told you all that about my own experience, watch this question I'm about to ask you. That girl I did all that for, flying and traveling and everything, am I with her right now? Or am I with another woman? What do you guys think? The woman that I'm with now, did I even know that I'd be with her? No, not at all. And when I tried to be with the other woman, it went south over and over and over again in many different types of ways before it finally got snatched out of my life. And was I distressed? Now that's the question you gotta ask now. When she went away and the children went away and everything, did it distress me? That's the question you got. What in the hell y'all think? It greatly distressed me. See how I know from personal experience what happens when you try to jump the gun and do it on your own? Doing what you think is good? You see? That's your feelings. That's not your husband. Your husband knows better. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that when I was talking to this girl, that when I started to see those signs and listen to my mother, that my thoughts didn't say, maybe she ain't the one for you, bruh? Maybe this ain't something you need to take serious? Of course I had those thoughts, but my feelings wanted it. It desired it. Is that not the Garden of Eden all over again, little flock? Yes, it is. You see it? How it's fulfilled in each and every one of us? We saw something with our eyes. What did my mother even say? She's very beautiful. She's gorgeous. My father said the same thing. Gorgeous. That's a gorgeous girl, son. Sheesh. She's beautiful. You see, it look good, but it ain't good. Bite in it. Bite into her. Taste the fruit and see. And I did. And I tasted it. And I saw. It looked good, but it's evil. It looked ripe, but it's spoiled. See? See? And that's what I'm telling you all. So then, when you learn to wait on Abba, then when your truth comes, it may not be in the way you think. And that's how come the how don't matter. It's not your job, excuse me. The how a thing occurs and when ain't got nothing to do with you. So in other words, will you be able to judge who your wife is on outward appearance? See what I'm trying to say, little flock? Men don't want to hear that. Carnal men can't hear that. Wait a minute. You're telling me that the true woman that God has for me is not based on outward appearance? No, she's based on inner appearance. Because what is more important? See what I mean about how you got to put childish things away? When you're a young man and you come of age and you go through puberty, you start seeing girls, you go to high school and shit, and you be like, damn! Oh my God! I was in middle school. I used to just play soccer with these girls. I'm at school playing lacrosse and everything with these girls. I go to high school. There's seniors and juniors and everything. I'm a freshman. There's seniors and juniors. Those girls are 17, 18 and shit. You're like, damn, they look totally different. And you start to judge with your eyes as what's good. She's pretty. She looks good. She has a nice body. That's the one I want. That's the first man. That man is earthy. Do you see how we talking about this? Is I connecting? You see? Not connecting. It's connecting. Shit. Our shit connecting. I don't know what they shit doing. Maybe they shit is connected. But our shit is connected. You hear me, little flockulators? So yeah, when that woman, you looking at her when you're a young man, you judge her on outer appearance. But then after you experience a few situations with those good-looking girls that look good but are evil, then you start to say, you mature, and you start to say, you know what? It's not about outer appearance. That's just extra. That's just extra. It's about the heart. And then when you search the scriptures, you'll see that that's the part of the woman God pays attention to. Let's see. Let it not be the braiding of the hair and the wearing of costly apparel and jewels, but let it be the hidden man of the heart. The hidden man of the heart. That's not what it says. Which in the sight of God is what? Great price. A quiet, meek spirit. That's inside a woman. He says that's what he look at that's high price to him. So what's high price to a man? Her titties, her ass, her thighs, her tummy, her lips, her eyes, her hair, her genetic features. That's what in the hell is high price to him, but that's an earthly man. The second man is the Lord from heaven. So then you will judge as the Lord of heaven judges. See, you will no longer judge outward appearance. Man judges the outward appearance. God judges the internal parts, the heart and the reins. So then what's the discrepancy here? What's the confusion, guys? There isn't any. It's very clear that you will judge like God now. So now the woman that I have is based on the inner. The outer is a plus, but it's her inner qualities that separate her from the other woman that I had. And that's a simple fact. I know that by a fact because I didn't bit both fruit. And so I know what the end of both of them are. You see it? One's everlasting, one's temporary. The outside, the things that are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So what those things are high price to you, nigga? Like I'm saying, y'all can't get around what I'm saying so clear. I keep basing it based on scriptures, so there's nothing you can say about it. You're like, damn, yeah, this Bible says that, the Bible says that. Maybe I hadn't heard it explained in the way that he's explaining it, but I have heard that it says that. But now I know why it says that. Because he's going to help me understand it by these teachings that he's giving me. That's all that's happening here at School of Marvelous Light. So, back to the point. When you're traveling from one place to another, it takes patience. And when it takes patience, then you're going to have to go through trials to test your patience. So you say, I am patient. Okay, well, I'm going to give you this wonderful thing you want. You're like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll give it to you in my own time. When you're ready, I'll give it to you. You're like, okay, cool. I'm patient. Then a day goes by. Then 4 days go by. Then 15 days go by. And you go, wait a minute, Dad. I thought you said you were going to give me the PlayStation 5. I don't have it yet. Ah! I thought you said you were patient. I am. Well, why are you acting like you aren't? If you are. You see what I'm saying to you? Can you understand the nuance here and how it applies to your life? Once you say you're patient, then you will be put to the test to see. You said you was. Let me see if you is. What do you think Job was tempted and tested about? What he said he was. Okay, let's see if that's what it is. His wife said, curse God and die. Who is God? I am. So say I am dying or I am dead. I am sick. I am poor. I am broke. All of that means die. All of those words are causing you to die. To say that about I am, isn't it? That's what she's telling him to do. Because that's how you feel when things get hard, isn't it? That's why I said the woman, when you read the Bible, represents feelings. And once you know that, then when you read the Bible, then you can properly interpret what it means when it says a woman is doing something. Can't you? Like I'm doing right now. Hey, I think it's a good idea to do this, and then that will bring me the thing I want. Yep. And then you find out it didn't. It brought you an Ishmael. It brought you the offspring of a bondwoman. A free woman knows she has something. A bondwoman wants something. Can you understand that? In other words, the woman of the house knows that she can eat anything in that house she wants. She has plenty to eat. She has plenty clothes to wear, nice ass jewelry and nice things. So she's not stressed out about anything. She's calm, collected, and cool. But that slave girl that's sleeping out in the cabin behind the plantation doesn't have anything. So she just wants things all damn day long. So do you see how the grandson is telling you how to no longer be a slave since you all were Israelites? Can you deny it? Okay, then. So I'm telling you how to come out of it because the 400 years is up and Abba will save you out of your slavery after the time is up. And the time has been up and now he's saving you because when the branch comes on the earth, then Israel and Judah shall be saved. So I'm saying I am the man who's named the branch. Now, how can you prove that Israel and Judah is being saved since you say you're the branch? Because of what I'm telling you. That's how I know. Because of the word coming out of my mouth that sets a man free from his slavery. What do you think you're being saved from? Well, let's see. The curse of not doing what Abba said was that what? You would be a slave. You would become a servant to who? Your enemies. And a strange people with a fierce countenance shall come against thee and bring you again unto Egypt with ships. So then don't play around with what the grandson is telling you, because what I'm telling you is easy to be understood, is it not? When you make a true claim of the Father, then you're going to have to prove it. That's the fiery furnace of affliction that tests to see if you're an acceptable man. God made man in his own image. So if you ain't in God's image, talking like God, feeling like God, and thinking like God, then you are not fit to be called a man. You're a beast. You don't have the right to call yourself what you are. It's Abba who tells you what you are. And he's telling you what you are based on your characteristics and your internal contents. So if your internal contents are about getting, having at the expense of others with no brotherly love, then you're a beast. You're not a man. You can think you're a man because you have a lot of money. You can think you're a man because you dress in nice suits. You can think you're a man because of any fucking reason of outward appearance. But outward appearance is temporal. So are you a temporary being or you are an eternal one? Which one? Now you will prove which one you want, which one you are by how you speak of the Father's name. Isn't that correct? Isn't that interesting? So the question that the grandson got for you today, little flock of ladies, are you ready for that test? What test the grandson talking about? I remind you, that test that's going to come when you have a transformation of your mind concerning your being. You don't know what you are, but it will be revealed. Read the Bible and see if it tells you that you don't actually know what you are yet, but it will be revealed. The glory that's in you. Is that not what the Bible say? So then where is that glory going to be found at, little flock, that's in you? I am is where it is, like the grandson keeps telling you. Now, if you listen to anybody else tell you that it's to be found somewhere else, are they telling you the truth? See why I always say I have the world by the balls? They can't deceive me. I'm elect. I've proven that I am. And they can't deceive me because of that. And I'm telling you how they won't be able to deceive you once you know the pearl of great price that you cast everything else behind you. See, we have a natural inclination to want to know a new thing. We want to know something as men and women. We want to know. What do you think it says about Adam and his wife? Adam, what? Eve? And she conceived? He knew her. When Eve ate the fruit off of the tree, it was the tree of what? Knowing some shit. See what I'm trying to say? Your desire is to want to know what it's like to be something. So then that's what it truly is. But you have been deceived into thinking that your desire is to have something, to acquire. Did you not know what Cain's name means? See how you have the mark of the beast and you didn't even know it? Your mind is set on acquiring, and you work with your hands to acquire. That's the mark of the beast. And you've all been deceived that it's some other shit. It ain't. Because that's what harms you. Your mindset harms you. If it's wrong, nothing else can harm you other than what you think. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. So if I'm fucked up, who fucked me up? Stop playing with the grandson. I told you I got the world by the balls. None of you niggas can get out of this self-accountability shit that I'm talking to you. I am is about being self-accountable, isn't it? Taking responsibility for who you are. You can claim a lie of who you are, or you can claim the truth and come into oneness with the Father, because that's the only truth of I am, because he is I am. Isn't that true? So then what are you going to do? Fight against it to your own demise? Try to figure out some other way? Okay, I know what the grandson's saying, but he ain't even clean. That nigga's all dirty in every kind of way. He talks all crazy, he's yelling, and he's all reckless with how he says things, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm speaking the truth while you speaking a bunch of bullshit. So whose words are valuable? Well, you better search the intents of the words and not the outer appearance of them, because then you'll be still fucked up if you do that, like you fucked up when you judged that woman on outward appearance like the grandson did and got his damn whole world shook the fuck up because of it. Flipped upside down. Yeah. Because the end of it is death. It was designed to kill me. It would have killed me if Abba didn't give me grace. That's how deep it is. But I guess people don't understand that one. People don't understand that one. If you leave that child of that bondwoman in the room with the child of the free, the child of the bondwoman will seek to kill the free one. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. So then what you think Ishmael would have did with Isaac? Y'all ain't never heard of Thor and Loki. Y'all ain't never heard of Thor and Loki? Skooloody, Thor and Loki. Y'all ain't heard of them? What was Loki's issue? Odin was like, Loki, you're my son too. And I love you, and you're going to sit in a high throne as well. Loki was too busy looking at Thor going, But. Yeah, I know. But. That's how you chickens talk. That's how y'all talk. That's how bastards be talking. Y'all hear me, little flock? So now, like I said, that transition period is going to cause you to be tested to prove that you're kind. Now, what kind of situation needs to occur to prove that you're kind? Consider what the grandson is saying and go through the whole list of what the truth of Father's name is and what you're going to be called to be. It's called a high calling. What are you called to be? And then when you see it, then you'll understand why the circumstance is happening to you. I said I was patient. Now I'm forced to have to be, and I'm upset. Well, then that means I'm not patient. So am I? You see how it's a test? Come on, guys. Come on, y'all. So now why am I telling y'all this today? Because it proves, for one, that I love you. First of all, let's establish that. It proves that I love you. And for two, it will succor you, or in other words, it will comfort you in the circumstances you're going through. If you're going through something that's testing those things in you, now you can understand why. Because I'm being tried to see if I am the thing I claim to be. I said I'm a lover. So now because this person is hating me, it's making me want to hate them back. But that isn't what I am. I'm not a hater. So how can I hate this person if I'm not that? I'm a lover. So then I love my enemies. I bless those who curse me. I do good unto those who do evil to me. Whose words are these? Now, did Yahushua say somebody would come and bring you back to his words? Is it being fulfilled right now? Is it being fulfilled here at the School of Marvelous Light? Yes, it is, little flock. So then how is it being fulfilled if that one ain't here talking to you? How is it being fulfilled then? By some other nigga that ain't the one that Yahushua said I would send to remind you of everything I have told you. You see how I'm telling you the same thing that he told you, which is do good unto those who do evil to you. That's how you prove you're a kind person. It's not about them. You are proving who I am. So then who I am is kind. You did something unkind. That doesn't change the fact that I am kind. So I'm going to do the kind thing. I'm going to render good for evil, not evil for evil. See how it's just telling you what Yahushua said? This message is telling you what Yahushua said. It just hit it to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear it. You see? You who are actually going through these things, who are about to, as I've said before, the world is about to go through a great loss because they've all built an Ishmael. And Ishmael has to be kicked out so that the son of promise can come. In other words, so God's will for you can come into your life. You will have to lose the old, and that's going to greatly distress you. It's going to greatly distress you, but you brought it upon yourself because of your misalignment with the truth of the Father's name. So become back in alignment and become his friend again, and suffer with him. You see what I'm saying? Suffer the patience, suffer the injustice with him, because he's the one suffering it. You see, he's the one taking the blow. You're doing it on behalf of his name's sake. For his name's sake is why you're going through it. You said, I am kind. So you're going to suffer because you made that statement of his name. You see how you suffer for his name's sake? And you see how you didn't understand it, but the grandson is able to help you to understand it in a way where you can't deny it? Wow. Is it true or is it not true? Right then. So hopefully, little flock, I'll be able to go live. Maybe later on today, or maybe one of these days this week, hopefully. But as you guys can see, things are tight on the grandson right now, so I'm just getting by one day at a time. Trying to stay kind, patient, long-suffering through all the vicissitudes of life that I myself even go through, like today, little flock. Getting that help out of nowhere that I didn't expect. This kind woman saying, "Here, get your baby what your baby needs." You see, and I was able to get that because of this woman's kindness, and I didn't know that was going to happen today. I didn't know how it would happen. I never do, because I don't take thought for tomorrow. I only think of the things of today, because tomorrow will take care of the thoughts of its own. Whose words are these? Take no thought for your life. Take no thought for tomorrow. Take no thought of what you'll eat or put on her. See? For your heavenly Father knows it. So he blessed me through the kindness of that woman to get the thing that I needed. And I'm about to run her card back up here to a little flock and be about my way. So y'all be blessed today. And hopefully I'll see you guys later on today, or like I said, another day this week, if it's Abba's will. Shalom, Mr. Allah.